3 cooks have made it to the final, but only one can be crowned MasterChef Ireland tonight at 8:30. Banalman, Brooke and Gerald join forces, but Helga and Tracy are far from being buddies in Shortland Street.
Jugs, keep her going.
No, you mean to keep her running when she shouldn't be.
What's this? Can't see you calling the cops somehow.
What makes you think I won't?
I know you won't. We're mates, right?
You let that horse run tomorrow, and I'll be on the phone to the racing authorities before she hits the first corner.
Tell me something, Maxwell. You still sending money back to Samoa?
I give my share.
So do I. More than my share. And where do you think it comes from?
Don't listen to him, he's full of it.
Wife's got the only house I own, and that's nothing flash. Do you see me driving a fast car? No.
What of it?
You been back to Samoa since the tsunami?
No.
The first time I saw it, I couldn't stop crying. But a lot can happen in a year. The outreach clinic was just the start. It'd be a shame if it all had to stop.
You know what? If you're half the man I thought you were, you won't need me to be your conscience. You make that call, Henry. If you haven't by race time tomorrow, then I will.
Obstruction.
She's right.
Sorry, it's been a while.
Time's up anyway. Nice work, you two.
It was fun. You weren't so bad yourself for a rookie. Not as good as Tico, though.
We'll see about that. Shame he couldn't be here.
We're supposed to be competing against the other team, not each other.
Catch. You look like you could use it. Hate to think what I look like.
Big sweaty mess, just like the rest of us. Get used to it.
Hey, what are you all doing later? I thought we could have a drink after work.
Team building exercise, you reckon?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe we should take it further, hold the next practice at the pub. Maybe that way people will actually come.
So, is that a yes to a drink or not?
Sorry, I can't.
Knowing Helga, Scotty and I'll have to work.
Oh, don't say it. Looks all too likely.
So is that Sophie definitely here to stay?
Well, you've got a cheek coming in there.
My money not good enough for you anymore. In that case, I'll have my 160 grand back, thank you.
Except it wasn't your money, was it? So tell me, have you pulled that horse yet? Do you still think you can talk your way out of it?
Maxwell's a gambler. Any minute now, he'll realise what he's missing out on.
Right, I see. So the plight of Samoa wasn't enough to get him on side, but you think greed will be? Come on, he's a better man than that, and you know it.
Talk to him for me, eh? Tell him he's being a fool.
And why would I do that?
You owe me. Why should you be the only one to walk away with money in the bank?
Oh, Henry, don't be bitter. I played you at your own game. You just lost. On the house. But don't come back for any more. I don't want to see you in here again.
Nicole, it's me. This is getting silly. Call me.
No point in wasting soft words.
That's exactly what she wants. For me to tell her how worried I am, not giving her the satisfaction.
You know, I did see her at Sugar earlier. She muttered something about having to find bureau work while she was on leave.
Oh, great. She'll probably take a week's worth of night shift somewhere so she doesn't have to see me.
I hope you're not going to sit around at home waiting for her to turn up.
What else am I going to do?
Have a drink at the IV. You, me, and the rest of the team.
If Helga lets us, you mean?
Well, there's been no word from her so far. And to be honest, I was just scared that we were going to be the only ones there with Brooke. I mean, she's fine in a group, but one-on-one, after we've compared nail polish colours, that's about it in terms of conversation. Scotty, how are you fixed for a drink tonight?
Good, I'll need one. You take care, mate. Any worries, you come back and see us. Thanks. Hey, how'd practice go?
You mean the practice you didn't turn up for?
Yes, well, I thought I'd let all you newbies settle in without feeling overshadowed by my superior skill.
Oh, very good of you.
Nah, this place was nuts. I haven't had a proper break yet.
You'll be about ready for a drink after work, then?
Yeah, text me.
Yeah, g'day. There's a horse called Point taken listed for the 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. I want to know if it's still running. OK, thanks. No, that's all. Cheers.
It's not what it looks like.
But that was the TAB.
Did you hear me place a bet?
Well, it's not 2:30 tomorrow yet, is it?
You ever see any of the Terminator films?
Oh, years ago. Don't ask me to remember the plot. I'm not that much of a geek.
It's your basic computers taking over the world scenario. We've got a very own version happening downstairs.
Helga.
Slowly but surely, the humans are being enslaved. Some of them are starting to rebel.
And suddenly you're leading the resistance. Why?
She's out of control.
Meaning?
We're in danger of losing some of our best nurses. They're never sure what shift they're doing from one day to the next. First, their overtime's cut, then they're dragged in here screaming when Helga decides we can't cope. The juniors will put up with it for a while. The seniors will be down to Central before we know it.
Well, they'll be disappointed. Central will be using the same software in a few months.
Only if it works here. Isn't that the plan?
I'll let you in on a secret. I wasn't a fan either, but that was before I saw the figures.
So it's only about the money. And to hell with job satisfaction.
Of course not. Tell the nurses I want their feedback. In writing. I don't want to have this conversation more than once.
What's that other film where the computer takes over the spaceship?
2001, Space Odyssey.
Is that the one with the chimps and the big black thing?
And the baby in space. It's too trippy for me.
I thought it was 2010.
It is. Has been for 6 months now.
That's the sequel.
What was the computer's name again?
Hell. H-A-L.
Hell and Helga are spooky.
Oh, they have to be related.
Anyway, here's to you, man against the machine.
Oh, Rachel. Oh, she's not that bad.
So, you decided to have team drinks after all?
Oh, yeah, it turned out we were all free.
We should have called you, sorry.
That's okay. I'm sure you knew I'd appear sooner or later. I only live upstairs.
Brooke, what are you drinking?
Actually, I can't stop. I've booked a table for dinner. Have fun.
I meant to call her, honestly.
Are you sure you don't mind?
No, of course not.
Gosh, it's busy in here tonight.
Yeah, I ordered ages ago. The service is taking forever. Here. I'm Gerald. I'll be your dining companion this evening. The soup is roast pumpkin, the risotto is mushroom, and the fish is gurnard. Do you mind if I read? I'm just on the last chapter. I was waiting for a twist. There wasn't one.
You can read it after me if you like.
No, thank you. My netball days are definitely over.
I thought mine were too. I'm struggling to remember the rules.
So you've joined the team. Playing with the cool kids. You're lucky.
Well, they needed a couple of extra players.
I heard. I wonder who else they've purged. I hope you're A grade and super fit. And I mean Olympic standard. If not, then...
There's a few extra dollars there for the short notice. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. See ya.
Bye. Where'd you find that one? She's an old school friend of Sophie's. JJ really likes her.
Yeah, she's awesome. We had a great old chat. Ask me anything about Zac Efron or the Jonas Brothers. I know it all.
Good. Pleased you got on.
What was she doing here? It's like you don't trust me with your son.
That's not true. I wouldn't have called her if I'd known you were going to be home.
All you had to do was ask.
Oh, so you didn't get my messages? I just thought you must have made other plans. That's what you said last night.
Last night, I was in a stroppy mood.
No kidding.
If you're waiting for an apology, so am I.
What?
I still can't believe you narked on me.
I am not going over this again.
You were looking out for Tanya.
I was trying to do my job.
Which always comes first. I should know that by now.
Meditation technique, you can actually turn those...
Where are you going?
I scored a graveyard shift at Central. What's funny?
I told someone today that you'd probably do a night shift to try and avoid me. I thought I was joking.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm doing it. It's not about paying the rent or this week's groceries. No, it's all about you, Maya. I just want to make you feel miserable. See you tomorrow.
I'm looking for the Tuvali file. Have you seen it? It's gone walkabout. Speaking of paper trails.
Hi. Hi.
Somebody has to tell her.
Well, and shatter her illusions about how perfect she's looking. I couldn't do that to her.
Oh, talk about team spirit.
If she tucks her netball skirt into her undies, I'll tell her, okay?
Brooke.
Oh. Thank you.
She could use someone like you following her around all day. You could mop the perspiration from her brow when she's embarrassing herself on the netball court. Ugh. You should see her. God forbid she actually gets her hair out of place when she's jumping for goal. Sorry, Gerald. I wouldn't be so catty if I thought that she was actually there to play.
What do you mean?
Well, you should have seen her face when TK didn't show up for practice. It was like, what's the point?
Hello, stranger. Almost didn't recognize you.
Henry, it's good to see you.
It's a better greeting than I got from your colleague here.
What, Wendy? Oh, she's usually so polite.
Starting to think you'd left us in the lurch.
Some more needed me. Now I'm all yours.
Have you been over?
I had to take some supplies to my outreach clinic and check up on the new dentist. Getting volunteers is one thing, making sure they don't treat it like a tropical holiday is something else.
If you can afford to fly to Samo, you can afford to pay your rent.
Oh. No, this is too much.
It's for next month as well.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
It's a lot to pay for temporary storage. So far, all that's in there is a box of files.
Any day now. And there's something I want to run past you guys. How would you feel if I took on some pro bono cases?
We've barely opened the doors.
And you want to build up your client base, I get it. But you'll never have a more loyal customer than the one you were good to in hard times.
He does have a point.
2 or 3 cases a week, that's all I'm talking about.
2 or 3 cases that won't be contributing to the coffers.
They won't be taking from them either. I'll set up a trust with my own money that'll cover supplies and my assistant's wages. I'm not asking you to do the same thing, but this is how I want to work. It's what I'm here for.
Computer is demanding 2 more nurses. At this rate, one of them's going to be me.
Again?
At least I had last night off.
Oh, and you're meant to be grateful for that. I wanted us to see a show tonight. I was this close to booking tickets.
You can still go.
By myself. Now, where is the fun in that?
You're right. You're better off working.
No.
You'll have me for company.
No.
Please, I'll buy you a drink.
I don't respond well to bribes.
How do you respond to begging?
You didn't beg Kelly.
I'm not sleeping with her, am I?
You know, there ought to be some perks to having the bosses you squeeze.
Can't think of any.
The things we do for love. Oh, I'm not judging. It's quite sweet, really. You know he's into golf as well. That might be more your style. Don't hate me. I'm not the one spreading the gossip.
And what gossip would that be?
Well, apparently the only reason you joined the netball team was to get closer to TK.
That is exactly why I said no when they asked me to join in the first place, because I knew that's what people would think.
So why did you change your mind?
Well, not because of TK.
Well, tell me. And then if anyone asks, I can set them straight.
Because I'm a big fat loser with no friends and I'm desperate for a social life, all right?
I know what that's like. That was me in high school.
Oh, do you mind? You are putting me off.
Boxing?
What?
If this whole netball thing doesn't work out, TK's into boxing as well.
Talofa?
Talofa. So this?
Henry's outreach clinic in Samoa. Now I know why he's been so slow to move into the practice. All his energy's been going over there.
You reckon?
Yeah, he said as much. I feel bad for hassling him for the rent now.
Why don't? Make sure you get it.
He paid it this morning, a month in advance, too.
How'd he pay?
By cheque, why? I trust him. He's a friend of yours. And he's had this great new idea to do pro bono work at the clinic. He's setting up a trust. It's right back to grassroots. It's exactly the sort of stuff that I had in mind when we first started out. He's actually got me excited about it again.
That's Henry. Always got another scheme to divert attention from the last one.
Cynic?
Well, you'd be cynical too when that cheque bounces.
I'm going to make another cup of tea. Would you like one?
Thank you.
Read about the kids in Henry's village.
It's my village too, babe.
Yeah, I know. Just read it. It'll break your heart.
Dad. No, Dad, slow down. Hypertension, that's high blood pressure, isn't it? But didn't Granddad Tippett have that? So it's hereditary, is that what you're saying? Oh, Dad, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go. I'll call you back.
What's wrong?
My dad's just been diagnosed with hypertension. Oh, here we go. Persistent hypertension is one of the risk factors for strokes, heart attacks, heart failure, and aortic aneurysm, and is a leading cause of chronic renal failure.
Fascinating.
Family history increases the risk of developing hypertension, as does a sedentary lifestyle, excess body fat, alcohol intake, and vitamin D deficiency.
How old is your dad?
Oh, late 40s.
Does he look after himself?
He's an organic health food freak.
Does he exercise?
Every day.
Then he has nothing to worry about. Minutes. Thank you.
Well?
Do you remember Solly?
What about him?
Remember all those times he used to come to school without lunch and we nicked food from the tuck shop for him?
Yeah, we're a couple on regular Robin Hoods, so...
Never got caught either. Plenty of kids could have dogged us in. Why do you reckon they didn't?
They didn't want to see Solly go hungry any more than we did. Point taken. Now that we're back on the subject, one of us is going to make that phone call, and I'd really rather it wasn't me. Because if it is, I'm not going to mess around with the racing guys. I'll go straight to the cops.
You've changed.
And you haven't? You're still robbing from the rich to give to the poor? And none of it's gone into your pockets? And you haven't used any of it to dig yourself out of the debt from the last practice that collapsed?
If I go under, the outreach clinic goes with me, and your girlfriend loses her new favorite tenant just when we're about to start something good. Is that what you want?
That's what I came here to tell you. You leave Sarah out of it.
You think I don't mean what I say?
What, this pro bono nonsense are you filling your head with? No, I don't.
It's totally legit. One more win to clear the decks. That's all I need. One more.
Thank you. That was yum.
How are you feeling?
You know what it's like adjusting to night shifts. I don't know whether I should crawl back into bed or what.
No, I mean, how are you feeling about us?
Do we really need to have a big, heavy discussion about it?
What would you prefer? That we pretend nothing's wrong?
I'd prefer we didn't argue. It was a bit of fun that got out of hand. Let's stop blaming each other and get on with it.
Until the next time you expect me to lie for you.
Maya, I lie for you every day. You think people don't ask? They get a couple of drinks in them and out it comes. What about Maya? Did she really kill that guy? And I don't say anything. I would never.
I know.
But I'm not perfect. And I'm not like you. I don't tiptoe around in case people think something bad about me. I know why you're like that, but I'm not.
And I love that. I'm not asking you to change.
But
sometimes it makes things difficult at work.
Because you're my boss. So what do we do?
I don't know.
Well, it's easy, really. Next time I decide to commit industrial sabotage, I just won't tell you.
Brilliant.
Seriously. That way you can put your hand on your heart and tell management you didn't have a clue.
I don't think anyone ever fixed their relationship by deciding to keep more secrets.
Radical. I know. You got a better idea?
What happened to you?
I went for a run.
Please don't tell anyone you saw me like this.
You sure? I'm sure TK would be impressed by all the effort you're putting in. And when I say TK, I mean the Team K.
I don't want them to know.
Why not?
Because it shouldn't be this hard. Nothing should.
Well, they say it's easier with a buddy. Someone to help spur you on.
Probably.
Nice trainers.
What?
They're the same brand as mine. Bought them a couple of weeks ago, back when I was still on the team. Now they're sitting in my room taunting me, looking all white and prissy and never been used. That's me to a T, isn't it?
Gerald or badly?
Well, I had some bad news today. Well, actually, no, my father had the bad news, but he was laughing about it. The man's an eternal optimist. I have a serious chance of developing chronic hypertension and having a heart attack, at the very least. I need to control my eating and establish a daily exercise regime.
Good for you.
So, if you're looking for a buddy, hi.
You and me?
Why not? I think we're at the same level of incompetence, don't you?
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing here?
He's come to take us away from all this.
Have I?
Oh, I was just getting into it. I've been trying to get my head around how Henry's trust is going to work. I think I've mastered the basics.
I thought a celebratory lunch might be in order, the three of us.
Yes, please. But we're going to have to hurry because I've got patients later.
Let's go.
Hang on. Hold your horses. There's always time for a quick makeup check.
Hold your horses. I love it. Call the TAB on the way over. Point taken, still in the race.
I told you why.
And I told you to keep Sarah out of it. You're using her to twist my arm.
When's the last time you saw her so happy about work?
Day she opened this place.
And how long did that last? This is the start of something. She's excited, so am I. Even Ruben's starting to come around.
So it's just me spoiling the party.
Ready?
Ah, sorry, babe. Have to head back to ED.
Oh, never mind. I'm sure Henry will show me a good time.
Love to. Listen, don't do it. فهم المال.
Kislo, can I have the number for Fundo Police Station?
An amateur designer is hoping to get a place at bloom when she creates a space that embraces biodiversity, making it into a super garden tomorrow night at 8:30 here on RTE1.